Hey guys, welcome to my Fungal Wastes guide. By the end of this video, you should be able to navigate the Fungal Wastes and collect all the key items for the first time you pass through. If you're following along with my Hollow Knight guide series, then by the end you should be able to have 112% complete. And also thank you guys so much for leaving some feedback and comments and subscribing. It's helping me out a lot and it's giving me the motivation to finish the series. So anyways, we start in the Queen Station, and then you jump up to the top right corner from there, and then here we have the Fungal Wastes. Once we first enter, there's going to be some balloon type enemies. The big ones breathe fire and take a decent amount of hits to kill, but these little ones are really nothing. They just float around and you can smack them and get some geo. But now we're going to jump to the next path down and grab our map from Conifer. He's right on down here if you head down and past these mushrooms to the left. And you'll find him at the end, and the map will cost 75 geo, so make sure you got that available to you and pick up your map. And then we're going to return to the previous area, but before we do that, there's a hidden geo deposit. Practice nail jumping on these mushrooms because that's how you bounce yourself upwards. And then at the end of the tunnel to the right, we can jump up and hit this geo deposit over here. After bouncing up a few times, we smack it enough to knock all the geo out of it. And once we do that, we're going to skip the path on the bottom left and go back the way that we came before we found Conifer. We are going to come back to this path later, but for now we need to make sure we don't miss some of these key items and collectibles in the first area. After hopping through the ceiling, we're basically going to head to our right and then try to reach the very top of this room. So follow the path that I'm on. We're gonna jump up and it's back to the left over here where we couldn't reach, and take care of the balloon, jump across, jump up. In this room, watch out for the mushrooms on the wall. They will shoot homing missiles at you that will explode after a short time, so I just run past them all. You can fight them if you want, and then right here we can grab the Hallownest Seal, which we will be needing later. It is a key item, so make sure you grab that. Alright, now that we have that, then we are going to head to our right and enter the next room. There's more of the mushrooms that have the homing missiles, so we're going to jump past all those. Just climb on up. Once you see the first passage to your right, that's where we're going to head into. But first, there's some geo in the ceiling, so jump up and kill this little mushroom guy. He takes 3 hits to kill, he doesn't really do much, and then grab the geo, and then we're going to head into our other room to the right of us. In this room, we're going to meet some new enemies that are pretty annoying. They're these mushrooms that roll into a ball, and yeah, don't touch the fire because it hurts. But anyways, smack them around a little bit, and we're gonna head to our right. When you're dealing with these guys, if they roll, you can jump over it and try to dodge the fire, or if they jump, just stand still for a second. But you can just, if you get in there and smack them real good, then you can take them out before they even start rolling. But yeah, you can see where I jumped up here, and now we're heading back towards our left, and eventually we're gonna get past all these rolly guys. Oh yeah, that's another thing that I started to do, was if you jump on top of them and smack their heads up, then you can kill them that way too. So yeah, we enter this door to our left, and this is back to the same room. It's going to open us a shortcut when we hit this lever, and then just hop up through this area, and now we have a mini boss to fight. They're just like 2 big mushrooms. The first one comes up, and yeah, after you smack them a couple times, they'll get pissed off and try to smack the ground with their head, so just back up a little bit and then try to dodge their spit attack. But yeah, they're not that tough. Yeah, the Vengeful Blast works pretty well on these guys. Once you do beat them though, they'll drop you a decent amount of geo, and also a very useful item. It's a charm notch, and so the charm notch will allow you to use more charms. But after that, just head out of the boss arena to your right and take the next passageway, and there's a room full of acid, so you can just dash right across there. At the first point where you can go up, go ahead and start hopping up, and we're going to make our way towards the top. It's pretty much just a straight jump up, and we're going to find a new friend up here. So also bring some geo because he has a store that we can look at. So now we head in here and we find the leg eater. There's also a rock that is a bench, so you can save your game here too and reset your spawn point. So this guy's going to charge us 86 geo just to see what he has, but he does have some very good charms. Heart, Strength, and Greed, all in their fragile versions, which can later be upgraded to their unbreakable versions. So basically, if you equip those charms, once you die they will break, but you can bring them back to Leg Eater and he can fix them for a price. Once you're finished with him, we're going to jump back down the way we came and take that right passageway. Once you're in the next room, drop down and just dash across the pit of acid on the bottom. We're just going to go straight across and into the next doorway that we find to our right, and we're on our way to the Mantis village. After we get rid of this balloon up here, we're just gonna head down and then watch out for the homing missiles from these mushroom guys. Just smack them a few times and you can get rid of them. They'll blow their selves up too, it's kind of funny. And don't miss the geo deposit on underneath that one. I'll usually just run past these mushrooms because like they're really not worth the trouble for the little amount of geo they drop. But once you hit the bottom, head to the left over here and we're gonna find another new NPC. Her name is Cloth and she just pops up out of the ground. She must be like some kind of beetle maybe. Anyways, talk to her, see what she got to say. She'll come back up later. And then just head to the next room to your left. There's a bunch of mushrooms that you can nail spike on, and nail spike and dash to get this pocket of geo up here. Then after we grab that, we're gonna head to our left, just nail spike up here. There's some acid that this part's a little tough, but just nail spike across it without touching the acid and just head down. I'm pretty careful here because I don't know what was down there, but then this little bug guy, he looks just like the bugs from Forgotten Crossroads, except he's like infected, so when he dies he'll drop a bomb. So get rid of him, and then we jump up this way to fight another one, and once you fight him there's a little soul statue, and so these you just hit and recharge your soul up so they can heal and have maybe some soul for shooting your vengeful blast later. Then we drop down and you can see Hornet run past. And we will be following the path that she went to later, but first we're gonna hop down this way to our right. And there's some geo over here by these mushrooms. But then we're gonna make our way down this path. So watch out for the homing missile guy. Then we're gonna hop here. I'm not gonna bore you guys with me fighting this mushroom, this balloon guy, because he is so annoying. But you're just gonna beat him and then nail spike across here to jump down this pathway. So first I like to go all the way to the left. Once you reach the dead end here, there's a pile of geo you can grab and a switch up top. Once you hit that switch, it will open a shortcut back to where we found Conifer at. Remember before I was like, we don't need to go this way. This opens a shortcut for that. But anyways, after that we'll head back because we don't need to go back that way. So you're gonna jump up on these mushrooms, and up here we have a grub and some geo deposits that we can grab. So jump up and take care of these balloon guys. Up to our right is gonna be the grub, so that's where we're gonna head to first. Alright, at the top here there's like a little pathway. This is super annoying because every time you hit the mushrooms then you bounce. But anyways, just bounce through there, and here is the grub. Alright, now we got our grub saved, and now we need to go get our geo. So just hop on over to the left side and follow that pathway. Deal with a couple more balloon guys. I just vengeful blast them out the way, and then just hop down this way. If you find all the geo deposits throughout here in this video, you should end up with a lot of geo by the end. Anyways, head to your right and just drop down, and then we're gonna head back the way that we came. This time we're going to go down past where that balloon was last time and take the path to the bottom right. Alright, once we reach this room, we have reached pretty close to Mantis Village, and so you'll find the Mantis enemies. The big ones are really annoying, but you can jump on top of their heads and use that trick to just nail spike their heads to death. But yeah, they're kind of fast and annoying. The smaller ones, I think these are called the Mantis Youths. They just like fly at you. They're really nowhere near as tough as the bigger ones. But just keep following this path to the right. Deal with all the annoying mantises. We're keeping to this path all the way to the right. Once you reach the end, we can jump across this one area to find a lore tablet. Jump across that way. Here's your lore tablet. After you check that out, we're gonna hop down and back to our left now. If you don't care about the lore tablet, you can actually drop down like way earlier up here. So drop down to this hole to our left. Once we're in this room, we're gonna take this right and then drop back down. Vengeful Blast can almost kill these guys. I think it's one Vengeful Blast and one Nail Strike. But we drop down, we kill some more mantises. By this point, you should somewhat be able to take care of them pretty easily. But we just keep on going to the bottom here. You see I drop way down on the side. And then you can just jump across this acid over here, dash across. And up here, there's a geodeposit. So we take out the Mantis Youth and grab that. And then in the room directly above us, there is a Mantis and another Youth that have another geodeposit. So we go back, we backtrack and go do that. You can do this first if you want. But yeah, it's a little more tough when there's the big one and the small one attacking you at the same time. But do that, and then here's these deposits. So once we get all that, we're gonna head all the way back down and across, and then there is an opening that we can jump down into. So we follow this way, and then we finally find a bench to save at. So reset your spawn here and save. Then once we head out to our left into the next room, jump over the acid and jump in there. At the bottom here is gonna be a statue, and it has a charm we can get. You can hear a bug crying, which that's like an optional quest, and I will be going over that. But first we need to go grab the Mantis Claw. So first we drop down here and grab the Dashmaster Charm. This charm allows you to dash more frequently, and you can also dash downwards. But then just head all the way back up out of there, right past the bench, and then we're gonna head back across. And now we're going to enter the Mantis village here. Once you climb up a little bit, you'll find there's like another Mantis guarding the door. So just take care of him real quick, and we're gonna just run into this next room. Then in there we can find the Mantis Claw. So I'll show you guys how to do that. And yeah, it's a very useful item. We can go back and do a lot of things that we couldn't have done before with this item. Anyways, jump off this ledge and dash across. Jump over the acid. Then we're gonna take the bottom path and we're gonna take it all the way to the end. A couple mantises to take out. I know at this point you're probably getting sick of them, but at least the babies aren't too hard to kill. So keep going, there's a couple more, and then you'll reach a lever. So you smack that lever, and that will open up the door above you so that you can take the top path now, and that'll be where we can finally grab the Mantis Claw. So we head all the way back to the right. Then there's an area over here. We can jump up and take this path right above the one we just took. Take out these mantises, jump across the gaps, and dash across. Sorry if you guys hear me clearing my throat a little bit. I have like a little cold, but I still wanted to make this video. Anyways, you can see the Mantis Claw right there. We're gonna jump up, take out this youth, and at the top we're just gonna jump over and across, and now we have our Mantis Claw. And then we're gonna grab all the geo deposits in this room. There are quite a few, and the first one we can grab like right in this room above us. So we'll hop up there. Give you a second to learn how to do the claw jump. And yeah, there's two right here. But now we're going to head back the way that we came, claw jump back up. It's the only way to get back out of this place, but drop down and back across, and there's a couple more places where we can use the claw to jump up. Here's the first one, and you can see the geo deposit right there, so grab that. And then there's a tricky spot where you have to jump across a bunch of spikes over here above this area. So when you drop down, just dash immediately, then dash across that and climb up. It's kind of hard to get it on the first try, but then you can drop down and dash and find another geo deposit, but then hop back up on the top walkway, reach the end and drop down, and here's our last deposit and a switch that will let us jump back out. This is the last deposit for now, and then I'll show you guys how to do the side quest for the other bug that needed help. So once you grab that one, go ahead and head back the way we came. We're gonna go all the way back to the statue. So once you get there, then you should be able to walk through the door on the left, take out these mushroom guys over here, and pretty much you're going to be using the claw to get through this whole little area. Yeah, once you kill these guys, you're going to jump up on that left wall, and the Mantis Claw will allow you to climb it all the way to the top. Then you're going to want to dash across and hit this wall and slide down and dash again. And then now you can Mantis Claw all the way up. There's a mushroom guy over here, so try not to get exploded. But then you're gonna climb that wall, dash across again, and once you reach the top, now there's a bunch of spikes everywhere. So the first set, you're just gonna keep dashing between them to reach the bottom. And then now the next set, you have to Mantis jump between them. And yeah, this took me probably, I don't even know how many tries, probably 5 or 6 tries. But once you make it, you can talk to Bretta, and she will head back to the city. So now make your way back to the Mantis village. Once you get in this first area, you'll be able to find Quirrell again and talk to him in this spot right here. But yeah, you're just gonna run through here. If you just follow the bottom path, there's a hole in the ground. I took the wrong way for the video, but yeah, just drop through the giant hole in the middle of the floor. And in this room, there's a bunch of switches that we need to hit. Once we do that, it'll be easier to reach the path to the Mantis Lords. And yeah, get ready for one of the hardest boss fights so far. So to get to the first switch, we head into this left room and Mantis jump through these spikes, hop up to the left pathway and hit that one. That unlocks our first door, and then we're gonna slide back down and make our way through that same room again. But this time, instead of taking the top path, we're going to drop down and take this bottom path. And here's our next switch to smack. So once you smack that, keep dropping down even further, and there's a third switch. But don't pass this geo over here. You can just jump over the wall and jump to it, then dash and Mantis hop over this wall again. Now we hit the switch and head to our left and drop down over this way, and there's another pile of geo. Then if we drop down over this one side where we hit that switch, you can dash into this area, kill this Mantis real quick, and we are on our way to the boss arena. After heading all the way to the right, we're gonna Mantis Claw up, and there's one more switch to hit that way. So open that up, and then we're gonna drop back down, and here is your boss arena. So there's a really useful tip that some people miss. If you climb up the left side of the arena all the way to the top and smack the wall, there's a lifeblood egg in there that you can get to have some protection for the boss fight. Also, by the way, this fight is not like necessary right now. You can skip it if it's too tough, but we're gonna go ahead and try it. So initially, one guy will jump in, and he has 3 attacks. He's gonna have the stab attack here, where you can dodge it and smack him. He's gonna have the spear attack, so you can jump and smack him. And then 2 variations of this disc throw. If he's higher up on the wall, he'll throw the disc upwards and it'll swing back down lower. just like that. And then if he's lower on the wall, he'll actually swing it lower and it comes back higher. So the lower one you jump over, the higher one you let it pass you first and then jump over it. But see how I jumped over that one. But anyways, eventually you'll kill that guy. And then the real challenge is when two of them drop in, it's a little more difficult. So they still do the disc throw that you can, if you stand still in the middle, you can dodge the one where they're throwing it higher. But yeah, make sure you kind of watch out when they're attacking at the same time, and make sure you see what the second one is going to do, because they can confuse you. Just be really patient with it and like focus on dodging. There's really not many opportunities to heal because they're just so fast. But yeah, don't get greedy. Smack them when you can, and eventually you'll beat one of them, and it gets a lot easier, because then it's back to like kind of the same movesets as the first boss. And then once you beat them all, congratulations, because man, this boss probably is going to take you a decent amount of tries. But once you beat them, you can unlock their treasure stash. So climb back up out of the arena. Also, once you beat them, you gain all the mantises respect, so none of the mantises will try to fight you anymore. But climb up this way. We're going to find a path on to our right here and climb on up here. There will be a door that you can enter, and then there's a bunch of treasure you can get. So first thing we're going to want to do is save. So luckily it is going to give us a bench too. Head all the way to the right and enter that first room, and definitely save at this point. Once you do that, we're going to head back to the left and use our Mantis Claw to jump all around this room and find, I think it's 3 chests. Jump through this first way. This first chest right here holds the Mark of Pride. It's a charm that's basically a better version of the long nail. It increases your reach by 25% instead of 15%. But then we're going to head to the left and jump up this way, dodging these spikes. Once we reach the top up here, we get our chest that has the Hallownest Seal in it, which is a key item we will be needing eventually. And then just head on over to the right and get a huge chest full of geo. So by this time you should have like a decent amount of geo built up, so it could be a good time to make your way back to Dirtmouth to go ahead and pick up some more upgrades. And after we've collected everything we need in here, we're going to head all the way back up and through the Mantis village, back out the way we came. Then we're going to climb all the way up this right wall here. We're going to go back up to the top, and thank goodness we don't have to deal with these Mantises anymore. They have gained respect for us. But once you hop through this hole up here, now we're back in this kind of starting area we were at. And we're just going to head all the way back through, and now we're going to go find that place where we saw Hornet, and we're going to follow the way that she had went. So if the Mantis Lords are too hard, you can go back to where Hornet was and just continue from there, but I think you could do it. So go ahead and, you know, make sure you get your treasure and stuff, you know. It'll probably help you out a lot. But yeah, we've almost reached the end of the guide because we are heading towards our next area. So here you find the path where Hornet had taken. And then we're going to hop up. There's a lore tablet you can read. And then you're going to climb up on these sides over here. Do some climbing and some dashing. Get through these thorns. Try not to die. If you jump up through this path, there's a soul statue, so you can get your soul recharged, heal yourself up. But then you're just going to drop down like this little area over here and find this lever. So smack that lever, and then you're going to jump up and keep going across. Basically, it's going to make it so you can get through this area without having to dodge all these thorns. But there's a second lever over here, and the bridge will be fully complete. And then you find a statue at the end, and now we can finally use the item we got called the City Crest that dropped from the False Knight. So you place that in there, and it's gonna unlock this entire area for you, and now we have reached the next area. But before we end the guide, we will hop up through this pathway, and there's some geo at the top here. But yeah, now you've made it to the City of Tears. So thank you guys for watching my guide. Make sure you're subscribed so you can see our next guides coming out. If I missed anything up to this point, let me know in the comments, or let me know some other content you might want to see. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.